seaside. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar. She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah, 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 yeah.
What's going on YouTube? Back with another video, and today we are installing a Magna Flow exhaust on one of my fellow GR8210 homies. It's actually a fairly simple install. I would recommend to have a helping hand just for some parts of the exhaust, but I would say about like 80% of the exhaust you can do alone. You just need that little help and from a homie for just a little bit, not along. Whoever you can find around, just grab them in and they can help you out. This video will only be an installation video only. I will have some sneak peeks of the sounds at the very end of the video, but I will have a separate video of the flybys, of it idling, of it revving, anything you can think of. Just like my previous REMARK exhaust video, it's going to be exactly like that. So please stay tuned. As soon as I upload this installation video, that other sound clip video will be uploaded as well. I just want to upload them separately, just so the people who want to hear the sound clips can go straight to the sound clip, or the people who want to see the installation and then a little sneak peek at the end, you guys can watch that. I don't want everyone watching the installation just to watch the sound clip. I'll have that on a separate video. Just a little sneak peek for my next video after this exhaust video. I will be ceramic coating my wheels and revealing my wheels in that video. Once that video is uploaded, I will have a link down in the description, so please stay tuned, guys. Alright, let's get right into the installation. Alright, to get started with this installation, you do have to remove two exhaust hangers, one on the left side and one on the right side. And then we go back and remove the third and last exhaust hanger in the rear. And then we remove these two bolts, 14mm bolts. And then don't forget about your little valve for your exhaust. It's just a connector, really easy to disconnect. And we'll remove this and put that on the Magna Flow when it's on the floor. So go ahead and just get yourself an impact gun with the 14 on it and go ahead and remove it. So the next step we have to do is just move this connector here. So once you do remove that connector, on the back end, on the other side, there is this little clip. You can just go ahead and get a panel popper and go ahead and pop that off. So one thing I'm gonna do so the exhaust doesn't pull this connector, I'm just gonna put this thing right back through so the exhaust does not pull that connector. So I'm gonna take off the rear hanger first, so just make sure you do have something to catch this exhaust. You can put the box so when you remove the exhaust hanger, the exhaust just falls on the box. So I'm just gonna use a pry bar to remove this exhaust hanger. You can use an exhaust puller. So now we go ahead and get the passenger side one out. I actually missed one. I don't even know how I missed it, but there's actually also another one in the middle one right here. And then for the last one, just the driver's side. So this is how the exhausts look side by side. Significant difference on how thick it is. Give you guys a side by side shot here. One thing I do love about this exhaust is the tips. It's almost like a black chrome. Looks really, really good. And it has a little Magna Flow logo on the side. One thing to keep in mind is, for some reason, this exhaust is significantly heavier than this one. So if you guys are thinking about weight, the Magna Flow exhaust is heavier than the OEM exhaust. This exhaust is stainless steel for the people that are wondering. So the next step is to go ahead and move over the valve. So then you go ahead and remove three 10mm bolts. I didn't show it. I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't. You just remove these three 10mm bolts with an impact gun and you're good to go. So then you go ahead and match those little two teeth and it matches perfectly. I did see that Magna Flow did not include a thread for these 10 millimeters to go in. I don't know if it's just this exhaust or they forgot, but I got some self-locking nuts to just go ahead and put it on the other side. I'm definitely going to contact them to see what they say. So you can go ahead and get your 10 millimeter socket and get your 10 millimeter wrench and just go ahead and tighten them. Once you have those installed, the exhaust is ready to go on. Then you want to go ahead and bolt it up. So once you got that portion installed, you can go ahead and get that middle section on there. Make sure you also get like a box or like jack stands to hold the exhaust up. So then you want to go ahead and install the driver's side. Then you want to go ahead and install these clamps. So this thing was a little bit hard to get on. I definitely needed somebody else to help me. But if you're at home alone and you're doing this by yourself, you just will need some pliers to go ahead and grab these together and tighten these. But it's pretty self-explanatory. They come in 3 pieces, so you just do one side at a time, and then just get these clamps here. Once you get the exhaust tips to the correct height, you go ahead and tighten them up with an 11 millimeter wrench. Once all the exhaust tips are adjusted how you like them, this is the last one you gotta do. Don't forget to connect that valve. So one thing you do, you have to relocate this clip. So all you gotta do is just stick a pocket screwdriver in here and it opens right up. It's just this clip right here. You want to relocate it on the other side right there. So we did experience a rattle from the C-clip right here. We have no idea why it's rattling, but it's definitely because of the valve. So we do have to remove it. It's 2 11 millimeter nuts and it will remove it from the exhaust itself. Alright, so now you can see the difference between the C-clip. So this one is just a C-clip that moves freely and this one is a welded on C-clip. So one thing that we did see is that there's no point of having a mounting bracket if there's no threads. You have to use your own bolts, you have to use your own nuts. Like, we're not understanding what's going on here, why Magna Flow is doing something like that. Like, you should ship a product that is ready to just bolt on and ready to go, but I don't understand why we needed to get our own bolts and nuts. Like, what if we didn't have any bolts or nuts laying around? Like, what if we're at the house or something, you know? Magna Flow definitely does need to address that. That's one of the main things that we didn't like about this exhaust. First of all, the rattle, they sent us a piece to replace it and it's still rattled. Like, what's going on there? And then to mount it, there's no actual threads to mount it, so you have to use your own nuts you find at a hardware store or that you have laying around and then secure it that way. That's one thing that we did not like from Magna Flow. So since the piece that was supposed to fix the rattle didn't fix the rattle, we just put the original part back on, and from there we were just tweaking it and finally it's not rattling. But we went through almost a week of hassle of up and down trying to figure out what's going on. It still was rattling, and then we finally got to the point where we were able to fix it. Honestly, for an exhaust that's over $2,000 should not come with all these issues. Magna Flow does need to fix this issue, so buyers beware. You might go through what I just went through. It was very annoying and very frustrating going through this process, but now it's fixed. So I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek of how the exhaust sounds. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching the video. Catch you guys on the next one.